I have always been a little afraid of my mother. She was born in Cuba when Fidel Castro was in power and immigrated to the United States at the age of 5. At the age of 15, she was accepted into college, and at age 21, she graduated law school. By the time she was my age now, she had 3 kids and worked full-time as a lawyer. In contrast, I have a medium-sized dog. Now, my mom was not the kind of mom who volunteered at our school bake sales, but she was the mom who forced my school to create an entirely new Spanish curriculum for just me, because she didn't think anyone in our small Massachusetts town could properly roll their R's. And when my older sister wrote a particularly dark personal essay that prompted a teacher to call a meeting with the dean of students, my mother blamed the teacher for making the class read Ethan Frome, which she said would depress anyone. And at home, her parenting tactics were unique to her Cuban upbringing. So sleepovers were considered dangerous activities and therefore were strictly prohibited. In her mind, it was like, why would I give my child away to another family? If Jessica's parents want to neglect her, that's fine. She can sleep at our morally superior home for the night. We will teach her Spanish. And she would often punish us in Spanish with phrases like, ¿Quieres un mecatazo? Which means, do you want me to slap you? Or, ¿Quieres un bofetón? Which also means, do you want me to slap you? And by the time I was in high school, I really could not stand my mother and all of her rules. I thought she was pushy and overbearing, and she thought I was difficult and disobedient, and we were both, frankly, thrilled when I finally left for college. And I then spent the next decade working all around the country, and I kind of loved the freedom from family that came with that. But just before I turned 30, I moved back to the area for a job, and the timing proved serendipitous when I got a call from my doctor that there was a concern. A recent biopsy of my skin had found melanoma. And while it was caught early enough and removed, my lymph nodes were enlarged, and my doctor was worried the cancer may have spread. I was admittedly shaken up, and I thought of all the times my mother ordered me to put on sunscreen, how she warned me that while Cubans have incredible skin, I am also half Irish. And so when I called my parents to tell them, I braced myself for a lecture, and my mom let out this big sigh that I had heard so many times in high school, but all she said was, "I will call you right back." Now, my mom had always cultivated close friendships with a group of women who were all from somewhere else. Spain, Colombia, Pakistan. I think in our largely white community, that is where she really felt most at home. And within minutes, the friend from Pakistan, a doctor, had booked me an ultrasound and scheduled an appointment for me to review the results with her later that day. And when I arrived at the hospital, I turned into the waiting room, and the first person I saw was my mother, already there, waiting for me. And as soon as the nurse called out my name, I remember she jumped up and charged forward as if there was no question she would be accompanying her adult daughter into the room. And the news was good. There was no sign of a problem. My lymph nodes were enlarged, but my doctor said that could be due to something as simple as shaving in the bikini area, which I had recently done. I know. I felt this huge sense of relief wash over me. I was okay. And my mom was there, which was actually really comforting because while I am still a little afraid of her, she's also still my mom. And just as I was about to respond to my doctor, my mom looked me in the eyes and said, "I can't believe you don't wax."